we must have came together to find out what really mattered. It was just like, I wasn't happy doing construction. I've always been thinking about doing a food truck. Even when I was in architecture, I remember looking outside the window, and I remember I used to see this blue food truck outside my window, and I was like, man, that'd be so fun just doing that. Why am I studying and I can be like cooking one steak and you can see one customer smile immediately, and then I'm doing drawings over here. I'm not gonna see the client smile back until maybe a year later, or I might not get any smiles, you know? So I always liked serving people. I always liked talking about food. Everybody loves food. But like I felt like I really, really love food. You know, like I love all kinds of food and I want to understand them. So that was in my head all the way to the pandemic, and that's when I told my business partner, like, I think I'm gonna get out of construction, what I've been doing for like 8 years of my life. And he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna do a food truck.
Well, I love the San Gabriel Valley.
Welcome to the My SGV podcast.
So I grew up here and I still live in Alhambra.
I was raised in between Temple City and Alhambra.
Eventually resided in South San Gabriel.
Our mission is to capture and share the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley.
Monterey Park has pretty much been my whole life.
Well, I'm proud to say that I was born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley.
We believe our diversity is what makes the SGV great. And no matter where you are from in the San Gabriel Valley, you will feel welcome. All right, SGVers, welcome back to another episode of the My SGV podcast. Thank you for tuning in. If you are new here, welcome. We bring you the stories of the people of the San Gabriel Valley. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for spending this time with us. We very much do appreciate it. Well, Ryan, we connected on social media, and I don't want to stereotype all the things that you probably hear all the time about being from the island, you know, but some of my like most treasured memories were from the island. And I wanted to ask you, like, do you remember the toilet bowl at Hanauma Bay?
Toilet bowl.
You walk around the left side and they would fill up with water, and it would like fill up.
Okay, no.
They closed it off. No?
I haven't gone back over there for a long time, but yeah.
Oh man, they closed it up because people were getting hurt.
No, I never even heard of them.
Are you serious?
No, that's true. I never gone back over to the Bay Area for a long time.
How do you say it's Hanauma Bay, right?
Hanauma Bay.
Hanauma Bay. So you would walk along the side, and then around the corner, and there was a big hole in the ground, and then the wave would come in and fill it up, and then you jump in, and then
I think I remember when I was a kid, but there's so much jam packed nowadays with all the tourists and stuff over there. I haven't gone back a long time.
I imagine, yeah. And then Waimea Falls is in North Shore. Mm-hmm.
I've actually did the hike recently, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just to kill time. Me and my family went over there. Yeah.
Do they let you go to the top?
It's just the valley, yeah. You're talking about the valley, and it goes to the very back, and then there's the falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you walk all the way back there, and then you can go swim inside the falls area.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you can't go up to the top. Like
that's what I was asking.
They jumped off.
You can't do that?
No, you cannot do that. Yeah. But I remember my kids, and we go swim around there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, I can't wait to talk more story with you. So, but before that, thank you to Paris Baguette for sponsoring the delicious pastries each and every week for our guests. If you haven't already, go check them out in the city of San Gabriel. I know there's a lot of Paris Baguettes, but this is specifically the one in San Gabriel who supported us for many years. So go check them out and say hi to Jason and Joanna for us. He started out designing homes, trained as an architect, building and shaping spaces for other people's lives. Then the pandemic forced a harder question. What do you build when you want your work to feel personal and your days to stay close to family? He made that leap, traded blueprints for blades, and committed to doing one thing at a high level. Together with his wife, he opened a small North Shore spot in 2021 with a simple idea that challenged the usual poke routine. No deli trays, no scooping, no sitting under plastic. He brings it back to the roots, fresh off the knife, made to order, seasoned with intention and shaped by techniques he learned from his grandfather. That approach built a loyal following and earned national attention, including a feature on Street Food USA and a spot on Yelp's top 100 local businesses list. After building the brand at home, he brought that made-to-order poke to the mainland in Huntington Beach and most recently to the San Gabriel Valley in Pasadena. Please welcome to the show co-founder of Rise Poke Shack, Ryan Ching. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Oh, it's good to be here. I like the intro. I was just, when you're saying that, it's just going through my head all the things that we've gone through. It's really nice, but
yeah. Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
I first caught wind of you guys, what you were doing from the, I'll say like virality of in Huntington Beach. Is that an accurate way to say it, to describe it?
I don't know. I guess you reached out to me when we said we're gonna go to Pasadena, but you were following from before that.
Oh yeah.
That's nuts, man.
I just don't want to go out there because of the drive.
Yeah. Well, the same thing with the people on Oahu. They're like, wow, North Shore's too far. So we're just blessed to have any customers at that point, you know.
Sure.
So from the beginning to where we are now, it's I don't even know how all this happened, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that story.
Yeah.
I mean, so I fell in love with poke in Hawaii, and then here on the mainland, the only place I could get it was in Vegas. Poke Express.
They get a lot of and that family is so. I think it's the same family, Kebe brothers. They stay in Kaneohe, but that's a really nice family. We love them, yeah. And that's the brother them. I think we're speaking the same people. You get 3 different locations at Poke Express.
I don't know. I just went to that one in Vegas, but that was like, reminder of what poke was to me. Every time I went to Hawaii, could not find anything here. So I was like, man, why does it got to be in Huntington Beach? And literally now you're 2 blocks away from me.
Oh, right. It was a
in Pasadena.
15-minute drive from right here, though. So
Yes. But where I live, it's 2 blocks.
Wow. It's a close.
Yeah. So, Ryan, you're not from the SGV, and you're now part of our culture here, our food culture. You set up roots here, but take us back. Like, where are you from? What was life like for you growing up?
So my mom from Kona. She's 3rd generation. That's my Japanese side. I'm 5th generation altogether because my dad stay on Oahu. He's from Kamaki area, but I grew up in Kaneohe, which is the east side of the island. I went to school in town. I'm an 04 grad in Kalani. And then we have business in North Shore. Me and my wife, we live on the west side of the island. And we do a lot of business in the south. So I think we're one of the few families on Oahu that does a food tour when we are working around the island all the time. It's nuts, yeah.
Food tour?
Like a full tour. Like,
okay.
We live on the west. I got to go into town on the south. I got to drive all the way up north. So even when I'm over here, you guys were talking about traffic just before this. I'm like, it's minor, 40-minute drive. But the traffic in LA is something to get used to, bro. It's pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah. What kind of kid were you growing up?
They say kolohe, which means like when rascal or naughty. I think all my cousins were studs. All my cousins are good kids and stuff, but I was always considered, I want to be considered different at this point. I think being different is different, good, but they just said I was really kolohe. And then not until I got my own kids and stuff that I start having to buckle down, So.
What kind of stuff did you get into?
Just like in high school, I barely graduated high school. I graduated with a 1.6 GPA, so I barely scraped by. I remember my mom was crying and stuff when I walked down, and she was just so happy that I was able to graduate and stuff. But I think I only started taking school serious when I got my daughter, and then I was all worried for my future. I have a little one now, so I went to architecture, and that took a while for me to even get into because they wouldn't even accept me into the school because of my GPA, and then it was right there was already a learning lesson that all the things I did just in academics, it was going to affect my life just in this one segment, So then I got into all kind of trouble though before, yeah.
Like what?
Well, my wife first met me at an SR20. I was still battling some stuff in court.
SR20?
I think it's called SR20.
What is that?
When she just met me, I had like a motorcycle kind of stuff where I was speeding, doing just dumb stuff, and then never had my license or insurance, just all kind of dumb stuff I was doing. And then, I was just one knucklehead.
Have you looked back at that time in your life and thought about like why that was? Because I actually don't think that there are bad kids. I don't think that there are knuckleheads as you think.
Yeah.
Or they're missing something in their environment that they needed. That's what I think. Right.
I think you're right, in the fact that I told my wife, everybody can say they're good people. It's just the actions. It's kind of like what I was trying to teach my son, like as a man too. I was like, having good intentions is not enough. I think what you do, that's the only thing people are gonna consider is good, So everybody has good intentions to a point, you know. I think I got a lot of good friends in prison. I say they're super good people, but their actions, that's what they're great off. So I tell my son that all the time. You know, you can do whatever you like and stuff, but make sure you just try to do good all the time, because that's what people are going to look at. They're not going to think, oh, he means well and stuff. Because when my mom, one good example is, going back to my mom again, when I first moved out of my house, the landlord found out my background. She did one background check on me, and then they said Ryan cannot be in our house and stuff. And my mom,
for bad grades, or was there more than that?
I went just got in trouble with the law before, and so I say kolohe, but I got in all kinds of stuff. But it's small stuff. It was small stuff, you know, like it was just minor stuff. Like I just did shoplifting. Pretty funny because I shoplifted poke before.
Tell us the story.
Because I was just one knucklehead. The cop.
Wait, how do you shoplift poke?
So I put him. I was at Star Market, and I can't believe we're putting this on too. But it's funny though. I put him in my pocket or whatever, and I think I was just like had like one, must have been klepto or something, because I just was, maybe it was a thrill. I don't know. But the cop caught me with like $300 in my pocket. And it was just something I just like, I don't know. So I put him in there. He didn't stop me. But so on that, I had all kinds of stuff. And then the landlord told my mom he can't be in there. My mom called the landlord, and she came down and whatnot, met up with him. And she said, Ryan's a good kid. She was crying and stuff, you know, like, please let him. He's trying to change his life. So like what we're discussing, no matter if I'm thinking I'm good or intent, it's like all the actions, that's what people are going to grade me off of, you know. That's how I'm going to grade myself off of. Because I think all kind of good stuff or bad stuff, everybody think a million things all the time, but what I do, that's the only thing that matter, right?
I haven't heard you mention your father in this story. Was your father around?
Oh, my father, yeah. He's a good dad. So I grew up in a really good household, blue collar. You know, my mom was a bank teller. My dad worked for the state. You know, we never wasn't like super wealthy or nothing, you know, but I had a good childhood, you know, good being raised kind. Yeah.
You have brothers, sisters?
Sister. Older sisters. Yeah, she was straight A kind of student. Everything was good, yeah.
So I'm confused here. Like how, with all that, how do you end up getting a 1.6? Like
yeah.
You know,
that's the thing. Like nature and nurture. So the nature in me was just crazy, and I don't know.
Like for a lot of people, like school is just not the thing for them. Like they would rather, you know, explore and use their body and do stuff, and that's not a bad thing. I think that's a knock on school, not on the person.
Could have been, because I got diagnosed with ADHD too.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay.
But I couldn't use anything as an excuse. Looking at it now, I'm like, what was it? You know, like, was I just being taught wrong? Was I just not interested? Was it ADD? Was it anything? It's like, who knows? I don't know, you know. But
when did you get diagnosed?
I think it was in high school, or maybe earlier. I forget. But then they give me like Ritalin and stuff like that. And
oh man, and how was that?
I think I remember just not feeling well. My grades are improving, my mom said, but I never wanted to feel like I was different. I remember that. Like I want to feel like I was normal. Because while I was going through that, I was just like, why am I so different? Or my mom and dad make me feel like I'm different. And as a kid, you don't want to feel like that. But now as an adult, I'm like telling you, like, maybe I'm proud to be different. I want to feel like I'm different, you know, and especially in the entrepreneurial world. So I was like researching. I was like, most entrepreneurs, they have like a C average grade. And I'm like, why is that? And then they explain all kinds of stuff. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's good that I was different, you know, maybe have like a different kind of mindset, and hopefully that works well with this.
Yeah, for sure. Were you happy at that time?
Well, I was a happy kid, yeah.
Did you get in trouble like with your parents in school?
Oh, all the time, yeah, all the time. When they said they used to get calls at the nighttime, then they know this. It's either like, I think my mom said it was like either going to be the hospital or like police department or something like that. But it wasn't like all the time. Like I never got like, it wasn't terrible charges. And that's why they just said he's kolohe, one rascal. And the rest of my cousins and stuff, I don't think they got into all that kind of trouble, you know.
I know Hawaii has a bad drug problem there. Were you able to avoid
I was never in that kind of stuff, yeah. But I had plenty of friends that do, and they good people, but just get caught up in the wrong actions, you know. And it's like, they just trying to get by, some of them and stuff. And some's like, why are you even doing that? Why you need to make money and watch your back kind, Because for me, I worked like 3 different jobs when I had my kids, I was picking up trash before we did the Poke Shack. I was doing the architecture. I was doing side jobs. I was picking up trash. And I felt that was one of my most interesting things when I started thinking like, maybe I should do some kind of business like this. Because I was picking up objects off the street, like bookshelves and stuff. And I was doing like reclaims, like selling it back, just fixing them up or painting them, making them nice. I was like, this is fun, And it was a good business, actually. I was like, you can make money anywhere, I think I was making more money doing that than my regular jobs. I was like, bro, you can make a business on anything. And I'm cleaning up the community. So people were seeing me picking up, they're like, bro, you go. And it was making me feel good. So I was like, what else can I do with this? And the pandemic happened, and then all kinds of stuff was going through my head. Never saw my kids a lot, or my wife. I was constantly working 3 jobs. So I was working the restaurant too at that time too.
We're jumping ahead a little bit in your story, sort of getting an idea of who you were in high school. Then you moved out, and your mom. Did you get that apartment? Did your mom help you get it, or did the landlord?
I was only renting. That was So
did she let you rent there?
Yeah. After my mom went do that, then they let me stay.
Okay.
And I've always made my rent on time. All that kind of stuff. So.
What were you doing after high school? Like, where did your journey go there? Were you still a rascal?
Yeah, pretty much until I met my wife.
What's the name for it that you said?
The Kolohe.
Kolohe.
Yeah, Kolohe. You go hear that if you go Hawaii, you say Kolohe.
Okay.
They'll probably name them after some drinks and stuff, like one naughty drink or whatever, like when you go to the bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're still sort of in that life, but you're on your own now.
Yeah. I think I around my 2021 though, it was pretty fast. I realized I was already out for like 3 years out of my parents' house, and I was like thinking, where's my life gonna go? I can't be working in the restaurants, just doing this, going to the bar and having fun for the rest of my life. And then my wife came in. We were just dating at the time, but I wanted to get serious with her already, And
How did you meet her?
At the bar.
At the bar.
And we have different kind of stories. I don't know where it is now, but she likes to say it was on MySpace, and I was like just texting her and stuff. But I'm like, I met you at the bar, and she ignored me and stuff. And I said, I'm very persistent though. So just watch, eventually you go fall,
So you meet your wife, and you're sort of realizing like you need to do something different with your life. Yeah. And so what are your thoughts go there? What are you working towards?
I went back to school. So I went back to school with her.
Oh, with her.
We went to go apply together. And then while we were applying, she found out she was pregnant. And then we said, we only get so much money, blah, blah. Like, she's like, okay, well, you're going to be the one to go back to school. I tried to go back to school. They said they wouldn't accept me into the university. It was just all constant stuff. And we ended up moving back to my parents' house. So my parents ended, I've always had, I have great parents,
It must be hard in Hawaii, like, even to rent an apartment. Like, I just, like, the prices there just seem so
It's pretty high over
crazy.
here, too. Cali's pretty high, too. It's just different kind of, I was, like, looking at the pricing for, I guess, certain areas in Cali, yeah. Like,
Huntington Beach is crazy.
Yeah, when we first got there, I was like, if we have a shop there, it'd be perfect. I just have a house over here, Huntington Beach, because I think nowhere can beat Hawaii prices. And I look at the prices in Huntington Beach, I'm like, yeah, I can't. I'm gonna have to open a couple more shops before I do this, man. They all have to be doing really well,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but yeah, Hawaii prices is constant. I see. That's why you always hear all the locals moving out. I get a lot of friends that move to Texas. Lots of Las Vegas, of course, California, all around the West Coast. I see. But they can't. No one can afford over there. It's too expensive. And then I'm just looking at pay. Our pay doesn't equate to how much our living expenses are. Even the now that I get business in California, the minimum wages, we got to compete with like places like McDonald's. They start the employees off with $20 an hour and stuff. I think in Hawaii some of the shops near me is like $14 an hour in Hawaii. You wouldn't find that in California. So not only do they getting paid less, but it's
More expensive.
Yeah, you look at the milk and the eggs and stuff and just groceries, just ridiculous price, yeah.
So that was a pretty pivotal time in your life, like baby on the way, married, trying to change stuff. And so you eventually went to architecture school, but you were working at one point 3 jobs, you said.
Yeah, working a lot of different jobs. And I was just trying to, well, that happened actually when we bought the house too. There was a time when I was like, I told my dad, if I don't buy a house now, there's no way. I mean, I was like looking at how the houses, and now it's a big issue, but good thing I bought the house. And then I started working extra. I was working the restaurant too. I was doing side jobs. I was working architecture. I was helping my friend do drawings and CAD. So, and my wife was working too. My wife has to work.
Jeez, that's a lot of time away from.
Yeah, it still wasn't. I was nowhere near making enough money. You know.
God, what does that say about like what we've built as a society? That's so ridiculous. That a man has to work 3 jobs and can't be with their family. Like,
also, like I was looking at it too. Like, true, but then I remember whenever I went to each job, they asked how much do I want. And it was with my own self-worth, because I never knew how much I should get paid. You know, to me, I was raised in a very like modest family, or like I never knew what was a lot of money. So maybe I sold myself short all the time. So each time I quit a job, I realized maybe I can ask for more. And then it was like only $3,000 increase annual. I'll be like, maybe it's this much, and they say, oh yeah, get on in here then. So maybe I just sold myself short all the time, but. Because I'm always applying to all these small business owners, But I was always thinking that too. Is it society, or am I just selling myself short all the time,
So you had a family now on your way. Your daughter's born. Yeah, what was that like for you?
That was actually I think I tell my wife, like, that was the changing point for real, when I buckled down. Once I had my own family now, and they got to take care of my daughter, then I started really, like, everything was in my head. It's like, just like, what do you got to do, And that's why you ask for any material possession. I don't think I buy a lot of things for myself, even till this point. Now I like to spend money. I spend money for the vacations for the kids and stuff, but I don't have no Rolex or anything on me, or nothing like that. Yeah. It's all for the kids. And
now you have how many kids?
Just 2.
Just 2 kids. Yeah. You're on the grind now, right? Mm-hmm. Like 3 jobs, family.
During that time, yeah, it was tough. Yeah, and then the pandemic happened too.
Yeah. So how did that affect you?
So the pandemic happened during that time. I was only doing 2 different things. I was working for like a manufacturing company, doing sales and stuff. It's construction too. And I was doing a lot of side jobs, and that was when I started doing picking up the trash and picking up furniture and stuff. But when the pandemic happened, my wife got laid off, and then yeah, it was like, how long was it? Like a year or 2 years, but we were making it by. But it wasn't like we can go vacation or anything. There's a point where I never left the island for like 5 years. We were just trying to just survive, and I think I could say the same thing for a lot of people in Hawaii, but that was a tough time during the pandemic for sure. I don't think we're the only family that had to get creative making money, but I think that was also the birth of our Poke Shack business. I realized what I really wanted, and it's funny because we're talking about money, trying to survive, but I realized that doesn't even matter. So I actually got offered during that time my business partner at the time for the manufacturing and sales, we were supposed to go into business together for a construction company, and we're taking over another business. So I got to see the P&L of that company and stuff, and we're gonna make money that I've never seen before in my life. It was life-changing money for me at the time. But my wife and me, like, I think during the pandemic, we must have came together to find out what really mattered. It was just like, I wasn't happy doing construction. So I've always been thinking about doing a food truck. Like, even when I was in architecture, I remember looking outside the window, and I remember I used to see this blue food truck outside my window, and I was like, man, that'd be so fun just doing that. Like, why am I studying and I can be like cooking one steak and, you can see when customer like smile immediately, and then I'm doing drawings over here. I'm not gonna see the client smile back until maybe a year later, or I might not get any smiles, you know. But that was in my head all the way through, and I was always in the restaurant, so I always liked serving people. I always liked talking about food. Everybody loves food, but like I felt like I really, really love food, you know. Like that's before this. I told you I drove 45 minutes for West African food, you know. Like I love all kinds of food, and I want to understand them. So that was in my head all the way to the pandemic, and that's when I told my business partner, like, I think I'm gonna get out of construction, what I've been doing for like 8 years of my life. And he's like, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna do a food truck. he's like, what? But he supported me and stuff, and we're still really good friends to this day. And his business is booming. He's like, his construction company was everything what we knew it was gonna be. So it was a big leap of faith for us to do that. And my wife supported it, so that was even better. She wasn't like all about, no, you got to stay there, our family needs it. She's like, you are miserable every single day you come home, and you know, like sometimes we don't even get to see you. You're always traveling for work, you know. So she knew what I was going through in my head and stuff. Yeah.
How amazing to have a supportive wife like that, and to really see you, right? Like sometimes it's hard to even see yourself, right? Like when you're just grinding or miserable.
Yeah, only people from outside can see you. Yeah, you cannot see yourself.
Yeah. Well, I want to get more into that story, but Ryan, we ask each guest to bring an item with them. What did you bring with you today?
So I got a picture of my family. We're in front of our poke shack, and then it's our dog over there, Lion.
and what? It's quite a large dog. Is it a Mastiff?
No, he's a bully.
Okay.
Pocket bully.
Awesome. And so why is this special? I mean, obviously it's your family, but talk a little bit about why your family's special to you.
Like I don't have anything else. When you told me to think of something that matters a lot for me to bring in, I don't have anything. Like I think on that, the only thing I actually bought for myself was these shoes. It was $40 at Macy's. But other than that, I don't remember buying a lot of stuff. Maybe before I had my kids, I was always thinking about me to make myself happy, and I was like a consumer and buying things. But all of my shirts, this is a work shirt. Where I bought it all of my shirts and clothes is pretty much, I get a lot of hand-me-downs still to this day. This hat, I just support my friends' businesses. This is Ziggy's. But yeah. Ziggy's, yeah.
Not Zippies.
Ziggy's. Yeah, they're a small shop in Huntington Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get much material stuff. This chain is only gold plated. $90 on the doing one on a cruise ship. Yeah, my neck will turn green soon. But it meant a lot because we had an Alaskan cruise ship from way back when, and it meant a lot. So I got that from me and my wife. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for bringing the photo in of your family there. That must be quite special to have a family photo in front of your creation.
Yeah.
You know, something that you built.
And then I'm like always like, is it really just all about that? You know, for the viewers, that's why. But I really think that's my, you know, not to sound so like cliche and stuff, it's like the family and stuff, like that was my motivation, you know.
The pandemic was sort of this shift for you, but not really, because even without the pandemic, you may have still been miserable and sought something else.
I think so.
You're looking out, you see this food truck. And so why poke? How did you land on poke?
Yeah. So that location, like we can go to the location first. My wife's sister, they sell sugarcane over there, sugarcane juice. So just me watching watching my brother-in-law himself, because my brother-in-law, he's a drywall guy. So he's in construction. He's kind of doing similar stuff to what I was doing. But when I was seeing him sell and their business, I was like, man, that looks awesome for do. So then I was thinking maybe I make something over there. So it could have been anything really. But one of the first ideas I had was sell poke. I was always thinking, why don't they make poke like one single like dish? You know, like everybody just pre-make one big batch and they just scooping them. Like there's no like love in it. Why can't it just be like one entree? Like each dish, like it's like one chef. He builds it, he garnishes it, he make one plate, and then you serve them. You know. But we live in Hawaii where that's our staple dish that we're known for. But how come we serving them out of like hotel pans all the time? And then they're like, well, you can do that, but you can do them off a food truck? And I was like, yeah, we can do them out of a food truck. Like, I think it works out better. Just pros and cons for sure in doing different ways, you know. But that was the idea for that. But I also was thinking about doing churros and stuff. I had all kinds of ideas. And my brother, I remember my friend and my brother-in-law said, poke not gonna work. Because when we went to that area, where there's a shop called Kuku Superette, and there's other guys that are really well known for poke all around us. And then this is gonna be a bad idea. You could do that. I was already kind of destined to fail, they said, in that area. But I tried all kinds of stuff. The landlord told me that he never liked my churro idea, because the landlord, he can say what is gonna come in or not, yeah? So good thing he said all the other ideas was not good. And then the rest is stuff that I guess it was just the stars lined up for us kind of thing when the poke happened, and we went through a lot of beginning issues. But fast forward till today, we made it over all those big humps and stuff.
Yeah. Well, talk about like what poke means like to the people of Hawaii. Is it like a hot dog to, I don't know, Americans? I don't even know if that's like I think it's an American thing, right? Or a hamburger.
Hot dog is German, no? And then we just made it.
I don't know. Maybe like the sausage, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I don't think anything. I don't think anything is truly American. No,
yeah. But like the cultural meaning to it, like because Foodland, you can just go and you can get pretty good poke there, or you know, like decent poke, not you know, and it is served in those 100 portion pans, and but what is the culture around poke in Hawaii as you understand it? Are most people making it at home? Are most people like they grab it and go? Like what?
I think the best poke you can make is at home, which is why we started like, why can't we make it like, you know, like how we make it at home, like small batch and stuff like that, you know. But even to this day, I'm like, if we get one really nice aku or otaru from my neighbors and stuff, the poke just gonna come out way better. It's like that fresh.
You're talking about fish that they caught or speared or whatever.
Aku one fish and otaru one fish, and it's that fresh. You make it at home, it just comes out better, you know. And all that note, like, there's a lot of pros and cons for the way we make it. So even like while we're discussing this, I'm like, I believe in this method, but obviously it comes up with its cons too. Like the wait is longer and stuff, and the recipes, even though it's the same, we have many different chefs now with these expansion shops. They all come out different sometimes. So now I have a consistency thing that we got to work on. As opposed to if I was to make a big pan, then the consistency could most likely always be, I think, better, you know. So there's a lot of things I got to work on with those kinds of stuff. But
so was poke a part of your childhood growing up? Like where did you learn, or you know, did you regularly have poke?
I think poke was part of it, but it was more just raw fish in general. My grandfather would always be cutting fish and stuff like that. I remember he used to give me the bloodline of the fish too.
Give it to you?
Yeah, and I used to like it because he just told me this is the more stronger flavor. You like more stronger. When I was a kid, he said, you want strong flavor, you go eat this. And yeah, you would give me that, and he would make spicy shoyu with it. So I have this same spicy shoyu, simple kind of recipes and stuff that I make the poke with. He's a big influence on me.
Was he a fisherman?
Just a hard worker.
Yeah. Oh, he wouldn't go out. He would just buy the fish.
Yeah, he'd go buy and he make pupu hour. So he would have the raw fish. He would also have like edamame, cold tofu, boiled peanuts, all kind of local stuff. And it'll be like his pupu hour.
Oh, I hear a lot of Japanese influence in there. You are Japanese.
Yeah, so that was my Chinese grandfather, my gungung. Yeah, we say.
So you're half Chinese?
Half Chinese, half Japanese, yeah.
That's why your last name is Ching.
Mm-hmm. But my mom from Kona. So
culturally, like, are you more Hawaiian, more Chinese, more Japanese?
I think I'm just more localized. Yeah. Because I don't think, we just went to Japan and they wouldn't consider me Japanese at all over there. They're like, this guy's American.
That's the worst kind of Japanese you could be over there too.
Yeah, I know. But one lady was like, she said I talk funny and like not like a regular American. So I said from Hawaii. She said, oh, the Japanese people love Hawaii. So I just say, oh, we're from Hawaii now. And then that's the best. That's the best card to pull in Japan. So I'm from Hawaii. Yeah, get right on in there.
Oh, man.
I don't think a lot of places in Japan, they like American now. Yeah. They
no.
like, yeah. So I was like, maybe I should say we're from Hawaii. Like, that's not America to them. They say, you come on in the restaurant.
Yeah, I think culturally, the Japanese culture and what American culture has been, there's a big clash there.
There is a conflict. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see the differences between them too, and there's a lot to love about the Japan side too. Both sides, you know.
I think Japanese culturally, they're homogenous in terms of like they all practice the same way of being, which I don't think is good.
Yeah.
You know, and what that way of being is, and I consider myself American, even though I have Japanese background, is like, I think it's mostly fake.
Yeah. They're
Fake
putting a facade.
politeness, fake, you know, like everything is it's just a performance, you know?
Internalizing too much too after. Yeah, they all sad after. Yeah. And then I could see that too. So I made one video after. I couldn't really explain it without also, I don't want to offend anybody because I actually love Japan. But I told in the video when I came back home, like, I think I said something like, it's just so good to be back home. You know, I love Japan, but there was something different. And when I was saying different, like I was in the train station and stuff. And I know that everybody's supposed to keep to themselves, you know? And then I actually consider myself an introvert, where I like to keep quiet and stuff, as much as people might think I'm an extrovert because I'm always online. But I do a lot of like just by myself kind of stuff. I like that. But when I was in there, I was like, this is just too quiet for me. And then at home, I would say like I want more peace and quiet, but I actually kind of like the background noise, people shakling, and I would just like small talk and stuff, and you know, it's just those nice gestures to people. Auntie like need help, you go help her and stuff, which they'll help out in Japan too. So it's just they internalize a little bit more, you know.
Sure.
So I was just like a small thing, like just me at the train station. I was like, how can I move here? I don't know, just like. It's just too quiet for me. I don't know. Yeah.
Before we move on to more of your story, you mentioned sugarcane, and I remember like this guy from Hawaii told me he saw an animal going into the sugarcane, like a huge centipede, like 2 foot tall.
Not even like a centipede that big.
Yeah, I mean, so of course I didn't believe, but this too is like native Hawaiian guy.
When centipede 2 feet tall.
The height of it. And he said he heard it first because the legs on the road, and then when they turned and they could see the light, they just saw the end of it going into sugarcane.
When centipede.
I mean, I'm the same way as you, man. I'm the same way as you.
There's choke centipedes everywhere, but yeah. But I don't know about that. That sounds like one creature, like mythological creature.
Right. I mean, the same dude was telling us about like the Hawaiian marchers. And,
who was that?
It was a scout leader who lived in Hawaii. He was from Hawaii. And then the minihuni.
Oh yeah, I don't know about the centipede one, but maybe I don't know. Yeah. Maybe there's so much things I don't know. But yeah, like I haven't seen one before that 2 feet tall, but that'll be crazy.
Oh man, you know, there was an altar by North Shore somewhere. I forgot. We went as a Boy Scout troop when I was like 13, and we went back to our car, and we had rental cars, right? And our car wouldn't start. It was like, you know. And then somebody asked, like, hey, did you guys do anything? Did you take anything? And then one of my Boy Scout friends, he took something from the altar.
Yeah, you don't take anything to that, yeah.
And they were like, hey, go put it back. Put it back, right? He goes to put it back. I think it was like an arrowhead or something. He goes to put it back, and we get in the car, start right up.
That's the thing. I'm like, how does that happen, you know? Is it just coincidence all the time? Because I myself am not a religious person and stuff, but I do believe in a higher power. So like, if I do believe in God, so I always say God bless, you know, to people and stuff. But I've never been like a fool on church goer and stuff, you know. But when it comes to things like this, I'm like, maybe, you know, like there's I got a cool story. My good friend, he's not religious too. We're on this topic, but he actually got capsized in a boat far out. He forgot to put his life jacket on. All his stuff like just fell out into the deep sea. He couldn't see shore. That's how far out he is. Him and his cousin, and his boat got swept away. So they're treading water for like an hour. He said an hour. He said he was gonna die. And then he's not a religious person at all. He started praying to God. He prayed to God. Next thing you know, 5 minutes later, the boat just came right back. One wave just like pushed the boat back. He said, I prayed to God, it came. I was like, bro, he's not a person to lie to me either. And I know he's silly enough to not wear a life jacket out there. So I don't know. Sometimes just things line up like that. Maybe it makes us a believer then, you know.
Wow. Is he a believer now?
I haven't asked him. He's Kolohe too. That guy is super Kolohe.
Okay.
Yeah, that guy is real Kolohe. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that was. I remember those some crazy stories from Hawaii. So now you're into the poke.
Mm-hmm.
You open in North Shore,
Mm-hmm.
and you're having success there. Was it right away, or was it was there some struggle there?
You know, I like to tell people that it was hard in the beginning, but you know, after the first few days, or I just looked at progressment. Like I started getting one more customer, you know, and I wasn't looking at it like it was just terrible. Maybe so, maybe in business wise it was pretty bad, you know. But after the first month, I wasn't really worried about us making our mortgage and stuff. So maybe we were doing okay. It wasn't super good, but then just slowly just started picking up, you know. It's like one customer after another. They just tell their family. And then I just saw the sales growing. I had to pick up more fish. And then social media happened. I had a couple of videos from some influencers. And then that's when I realized I had to learn how to do social media. And I never knew how to do social media. And I had to learn them. And I really don't like being on camera. A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you must really enjoy it. Like, I think my wife and my family, they know that I'm the kind of guy that, like, if you look at my camera roll, I'll do the same video. Like, you'll see like 20 rolls, 20 shots of the same speech just for something so simple. Like today I went post like, we're going to be closed in Pasadena early. That I did like 10 takes on that. It was just something, we're going to be closed today, Pasadena 6 o'clock. It's like, oh, that's not good. We're trying again. So yeah, it's tough for me. But I do it because I tell my wife it's for the business, you know. Even with the social media, I realized it worked. I was like, I got to learn how to do this. I got to get good at it. But it's been over 5 years. I'm still not comfortable at it. Yeah.
Sure. Well, Ryan, I want to get into how you finally made the decision to come to the mainland, Huntington Beach, and then to Pasadena. But let's take a quick break.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
Yeah.
Sometimes, even the best of us can slip up. That's why the law offices of Scott Wormuth are here to pick you back up again.
And while they strive to get you the biggest compensation possible, oh my gosh.
Their main concern is your health and recovery. They work closely with doctors and insurance companies to make sure you get the proper medical treatment.
Initial consultations are free, so give them a call.
At the law offices of Scott Wormuth, we're with you all the way.
I'm Scott Wormuth. We've been fighting for your rights for more than 40 years.
All right, we're back with Ryan. During the break, Ryan, we were sort of talking story, and then you were going to tell us a story. I was like, hold on, let's hear on this. So you had a time when you stopped believing in ghosts, or what was that?
Yeah, well, my mom and dad, they actually got me a dog because I was so scared of ghosts in the dark. And this is like when I was in 8th grade, you know, I was super scared and stuff. But then the one time I stopped believing in ghosts, and, you know, like, was when I saw something move, like a shadow. I was like, oh, there's the ghost again. And then I got up, and then I went to go investigate, and it was just like one shadow from like one tree outside. And the more times I did that, did I realize, like, I just filling in these things in my own head. You know, my own head is just creating these things. So, you know, I don't know. Then I just started not believing in ghosts after. So I have a very, like, my wife's family, they're very, very spiritual family. So I try not to get into a lot of discussions about that. Yeah.
Spiritual in what sense?
My wife's sister, they go see psychic and stuff, and there's a lot of things like they go temple and things, and there's a lot of things I find really good about faith and stuff though. So it goes back and forth for me. Yeah.
I see. Awesome. Well, Ryan, before we go on with the show, when we come back from the break, we like to ask questions from the deck of cards called Icebreakers. And it's just a fun way for us to get to know each other, and the audience will get to know both of us because I have an answer too. So, Ryan, if you could change one thing about the way you were raised, what would you change?
Just my own actions. You know, I wish I did better. I wish I listened to my parents. Because now I want my kids to listen to me. Yeah.
I think I would wish that that I was only motivated towards something and never towards fear and punishment. Yeah, because that has brought a lot of difficulty as an adult. Yeah, so both in the way that I experience things and then the way that I motivate. Like I'm aware of that now, but I only want to motivate something or someone to go after something positive, not to be afraid of something. Failure is or fear is a powerful motivator, right. But it's I don't think it's good. You know, I don't think it's healthy.
I think I agree with that for sure. Like it was fear that made me second guess. It still does. It's second guess like a lot of stuff that I do. But it's good too, don't you think? You gotta be optimistic and pessimistic at the same time. The fear kind of protects you too, a little bit.
I think so, to a point, but not as a motivator, right? Because eventually, so I'll give you an example, okay? Yeah. As a young kid, if I get hit, then I'm afraid of it, okay? Until I get big enough, and then I don't care, right? Because you can't hurt me now. But then most parents, what they do is they withdraw love, because that will always hurt. And how messed up is that? So then you comply or you say, I don't care. And almost every situation where you try to motivate someone through fear, right, they will eventually lead them to that place of, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't believe the fear should be like you should ever create fear for get something out of a person.
Right?
For sure.
Because then it'll always lead to apathy.
Yeah.
In the workplace, if you try to lead by punishment, that worker is going to be like, I don't care.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
But if you can inspire them, if they can reach for something, you know, inside that they want to achieve, you can't stop them.
That's going in. So tonight, I actually talking about my employees and stuff. We're actually gonna take my employees out for dinner tonight, and that was one of the reasons why I flew down here. I was like, how can I motivate them through like a speech and stuff? And I was going back, like, I'm pretty much self-employed, you know. Right now, I'm like thinking like them. How can I inspire them to want to do better, you know, for help our business and to help them? And then I want to tell them, like, you know, we're trying to expand, and I don't want to invest into just any old any franchisee. I'd rather invest into the employees that know our values, the ones that we can see are eligible. You know, they know how the business runs and stuff. I'd rather create a business plan with them. So that's why I'm here, going to make a dinner, and I'm going to tell the employees that kind of stuff. And that's more of a motivation, not towards fear, but I think that's a positive kind of motivation. Like, wow, this is, you know, so it was going through my head I'm still trying to think of the speech I'm going to tell my employees, but you can see I'm very scatterbrained. I think that it is the ADD all the time, you know?
Yeah. Sure. No need to apologize. So. So if you're watching or listening online, let us know, what would you change one thing about the way that you were raised? So Ryan, you had success in Hawaii. I know it's Hawaii, right? Do you always say Hawaii, or?
I go back and forth. It
depends on who you're with, right?
Yeah, it depends on.
So right now your pigeon is like way toned down, yeah?
No, I think it's perfect right now. yeah.
But do you turn it up like when you're around different people?
So when I used to do like on the job sites and stuff, you know, but when I was in architecture and stuff, I could turn it down. But it seemed like even though I turned it down, because I did sales, remember something in manufacturing, they'll send me to the East Coast, and they'll be like, some guys couldn't tell where I was from. They said, you sound different. But I thought I sounded really good. You know, my wife said I can be like a chameleon when I'm talking, but I guess it just depends who's listening to you.
When did you decide, I want to bring this to the mainland?
So me and my wife, we never ever wanted to expand a long time. We got courted, so you're talking about like how fast did our business rise. I think we started seeing significant like exposure like a year in, and that's when we started getting offers from people to franchise. There's a person that wanted to write us a check immediately, and they said, we want to do some stuff with you guys. My wife and me never wanted to do that. It was only until like the 4th and 5th year, her hand started hurting. My back started I get back problems, and then I was realizing, like, can we keep on doing this? So then I was thinking, how can we keep on going? And I don't think I could have employees in our shack in North Shore. So the next thing was expansion. And then Wes, which was my business partner, our operator guy for California now, he knew my wife. He used to work in Waikiki with my wife at the hotel for 4 years. He was in the kitchen, and she was outside as a server. He's been following us for a long time online, and he finally reached out to us, and he was opening up some he has experience opening restaurants now. After he moved over here to LA. That's why, after Hawaii, and then we met up, and it was like a perfect. For some, I just really felt it at that time. It was perfect timing too, because that's when everything was going with her hand, and I was thinking all kinds of stuff, and then I just felt it with them too. Everything she said about him, when I was talking to him, like, yeah, this guy is like he is who he is, you know. And I felt that was a perfect kind of guy that I needed to expand. And then within a matter of a few months, 6 months, we opened up the Huntington Beach one. I chose Huntington Beach because I was like, this kind of has like a Waikiki kind of vibe. I thought it'd be really good over there if it's Waikiki vibe. But the Pasadena location, that has no Waikiki vibe at all. But that is our busiest location. That's in a more residential area. So we have shops in different kind of places. We have one in like Pasadena residential, one in like on Waikiki Beach Town, and then our shop in Kahuku is like, that's like country, 1 hour away from everything. But the busiest one is Pasadena right now for sure. So it just goes to show, it's like, I don't know, like if people would think like the Huntington Beach, which they all do well, but Pasadena is just constantly like, it's just slammed right now. Yeah.
Do you know why? Or why I think?
Why?
Because in the SGV, that kind of poke is not here.
I hear that, yeah.
And you have a lot of Asians here. You have a lot of people who travel to Hawaii. You have a lot of people who enjoy food, who know good food. There's a poke at in the Vaughn's parking lot, right? Like it's called Bay Poke. But it's like a Chipotle style poke.
Oh yeah, I think I ran into him, or not ran into him, but I kind of look around the area all the time. Yeah.
That's not, in my opinion, what I think of when I think of poke, right?
Yeah.
It's a very, very changed style. Like I don't know. It's its own thing. It's its own thing. But it says poke.
I know. So there's a lot of poke that I think is Hawaii people would accept as poke, like in San Diego, more like down there. But now I was looking at LA and OC. From what my friends were showing me, I actually met a couple when we opened up the Huntington Beach. I met 3 business owners from Hawaii that made poke places over here. No one even knew them, but they're doing fresh fish, which is very hard to come by on LA or OC. Fresh ahi, which it's very like, no, they said they're the first people that were doing it, and they were trying to do it the same exact way that I was doing it too, but they said they failed. One was in Fountain Valley. This guy, I forgot the name of the businesses, but what I think was the problem is that they just couldn't push out the fish, and it's expensive. So in that sense, we're blessed, because if we never had anything with social media and stuff, and people never knew who we were, then I would have to close the doors immediately. It'll be too much, and then maybe I have to water down the poke. Have to be like frozen grade fish, and I'm just very thankful that we can actually keep on continuing to serve this kind of poke,
Yeah.
But is Jordan going to be making a poke place too? I love brother Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys going to get SGV area going to get 2 local boys making poke. So
did you know he was on the show?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was having pop-ups at B&C Teriyaki.
Right.
And then I think he's got his own shop now in Arcadia. I don't know if it's open
months.
yet.
He said a couple months should be open. So you guys going to be stoked about it. Because he was even showing me with Soul. That's also local culture too. He came in, he just was like, he even helped me like, hey, this is where I get my fish, if you want to do this way and stuff. And I was showing him I'm using fresh fish and stuff, and we just going back collabing ideas. It wasn't even asked for. It was just like, just natural talk through local boys, But I never got any of that through a lot of other businesses, through poke. Actually, it was the opposite way around, But for him, it was just natural. Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Pasadena, right? Because this is the reason that you're on the show, because you have to have the connection to the San Gabriel Valley, right? Why did you choose that location? And obviously it's successful if it's your most busiest one. Yeah.
So talk about that. When we first came down with the idea with West to even open anywhere in the mainland or California, I actually did a pop-up at that location. So it was I already knew it was going to be decent, but Wes was operating Lobster Guys over there. That was his shop. So we were always planning to go back there. And the first day we were there, my cousins, they live in SGV area, it's Pasadena. They came down, and so I do have family down here too. But in my local, definitely not. But do I love the community? I love the community, especially my cousins, them all live over there. But this was Wes's area, so it made only perfect sense we start something where we were supposed to from the first pop-up, you know. It just took us a little bit, and I think it's going to take us a little bit more I have this whole vision in my head and where this poke business can go. I had an attorney write up all kind of franchise stuff that I can use. I'm like, which way do I take it, you know? But it's just going through all my head how I can do it. I just want to do one shop at a time. Pasadena right now is our busiest shop, so I'm just trying to figure out how can we just keep on serving Pasadena at a good rate, you know, cut the wait time for you guys and stuff, yeah.
Every time I drive by, because I live so close, there's a line. There's always a line.
I know, and I'm like, I think a lot of business owners would be very happy, but now I'm just like, when I see the line, I'm like, how can we serve everybody? Because, you know, like that's the number one complaint I would see is the line. Before we were even cutting the line, so there's like a lot of like 1-stars reviews. They said like they cut the line on us, but you know, there's a lot of things as business owners that we got to go through. I'm concerned about my employees too. They only can be working for so long. You know, so there's just a lot of things that I wish consumers can understand about business owners. And I'm not a person that's just being malicious to my customers cutting the line. There's a lot of things I'm trying to think about, you know. But yeah, today I got to go down there. I got to maybe cut the line again. So I got a different strategy how I'm going to do that one. Because I cut the line in Kahuku all the time.
What does that mean? But it's your place.
Yeah, but then when you're waiting outside, I can understand because I'm a customer. And if I'm waiting and then they say, oh, you're not going to make it. Like, I drove here an hour, you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. But here's also the difference too. I'm not saying anything bad about California and stuff, but it's just different kind of like understanding, you know, like I never had much problems with Kahuku customers come down, and these are Hawaii people that they travel sometimes an hour to our place because Kahuku is really far, but everybody was more or less really understanding over there. I've only been in Pasadena a couple months, and get some people with pitchforks all the time if that happened. Yeah, I've been in Kahuku for over 5 years, and everybody's like, "It's okay, brother. You do you know." And then over there, you're like, you're gonna, yeah, they do not like that, right? Yeah. Wow. So that's taking some getting used to for sure. But am I gonna stay? We're gonna try staying. And I tell myself, I can't make it over here. Like, then I can't make it anywhere. You know, I got to be able to make it at all these different places. And like food, I got to be able to understand all kinds of food. So I think it's very interesting. And for the better part though, like we've met for every one person that in any place that's gonna bring you down, I met like 20 good ones, you know? So we have a lot of returning customers already, and that's where I want to concentrate for all the businesses, you know, concentrate a lot on the people that just walk through your door, you know. And not to say that you don't look at criticism all the time, because I wouldn't have got here if I never looked at any criticism, you know. In architecture, that's all I get is criticism. People don't realize like architectures and design, that's so subjective. People can have all kinds of opinions on your design, just like food, you know. So I was already trained like that too in my head.
So Ryan, talk about what makes your poke different or special, and what are some of the more popular stuff that you guys are offering? So
when we first came on the scene, it was because I really wanted to build up special poke, home style poke, like how we make them at home. Each dish made to order, and it was easy. My wife make everything, so it was real consistent. And then we got known for, I think, unique poke. So we started doing, our first big hit was a Lao style poke. She's Laotian, so we made Lao style poke. That became big, and it gave me the ideas to do more unique stuff. And then my friend, they do Cajun sauces, and they make Cajun poke, which I think nobody does Cajun poke. That's only in Hawaii though, because I did bring it down to California. I think nobody bought it, which also like consumers are different, yeah. So the poke nachos that we're known for, I had them before on the menu. Nobody bought them over here. It was only social media that made it big. Now everybody bought them though. Yeah, you see it everywhere. So I had to understand that. But I think now Pasadena known for the poke nachos, the one that I had to bring on back on the menu. But in Hawaii, it was more the home style, made to order poke, fresh fish. The quality of the fish, we try to get a sashimi grade, and unique styles. But like I said, Pasadena known for tsunami nachos. So I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know.
So what is the tsunami nachos?
The tsunami nachos is the way we did them back in Kahuku was we had tortilla chips, and then we put poke over them with sauces. It basically evolved to us putting our crab salad and our pickles, which are all made in-house. And we put furikake, tubiko, and all kinds of stuff like that on it.
Oh, it's corn chips.
It was. That's the original way we made them.
Okay.
But we started doing them in Huntington Beach, and then we had a lot of people there that said, they want 1-ton chips. We got popular just doing it with the tortilla back at home, just like that. But we couldn't do it with 1 ton because I never had a fryer or cooking permit over there in Huntington Beach. So Pasadena we do. So when we opened up Pasadena, we said we would do them like that. It was Ed Choi. Ed Choi was the one. He made the video for nachos, and then I told him to come over because I wanted to give him the nachos the way that people were requesting from him. When he ate the poke nachos and stuff. So I told him he can go eat them, and he posted that video. The next thing you know, when the line was out the door for it, then I was like, I'm gonna have to fry a lot more 1-ton chips, right? Yeah. So West them are all working super hard. They were like, should we still have it? It's like, customers want it. Like we got it, because that thing takes a long. If you get like 20 orders of them, like people should see like the tickets to just rack up on that thing. So I think Weston was limiting people. My Pasadena team was limiting people. You can only order 2 nachos each order.
Wow.
So there's a limit. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Ryan, we're going to move on to the final segment of this show where we get to learn where you like to eat in the SGV. So.
In the SGV.
All right, so Ryan, this is called the SGV3, and we want to know your 3 favorite places to eat when you're here in the San Gabriel Valley. So what would be number 1?
So number ones are our neighbors, Kabuki.
Kabuki.
And the service is phenomenal over there. I go there by myself sometimes. I went there a couple times already, and then I just sit at the sushi bar by myself. There's excellent service over there, yeah.
Oh, it's literally across the street from you.
It's literally, yeah. And some of the guys are like, why are you going to buy fish from us when you get fish? Like, it's like, see, these guys, they're sometimes not always just the food too. The food's top notch, but the people is what bring you back. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, okay. And what about second place?
The Nagi Ramen, that's Ono over there. Yeah, I like the Nagi Ramen. Then I like that you can choose a spice level for the spicy, but I just came back from Japan. That stuff the ramen was pretty Ono, yeah. It was good, but it's definitely up there.
Oh yeah, I think I saw something on social media, like you're a chili head, huh? You like spicy.
That's why, but so was it last night? I went to Dave's Hot Chicken because we don't have that back home. Dave's Hot Chicken. Then
did you get the
Reaper? Yeah. I got videos of it. I almost ate. So I had the Reaper sandwich and the Reaper tender. So I ate the sandwich, but I had a little bit left of the tender. I was like, I cannot do it. I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just on fire. My stomach felt like it was just like it was like angry. Yeah,
of course. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. And is it close to that level spicy at the Nagi Ramen?
No, the Nagi Ramen was not spicy at all. But the Reaper is just a super hot. That's why, and it's also they use a dry rub and stuff, which is a little bit more concentrated kind of heat and stuff. So that's being a foodie is understanding even spices and how you create I like fresh chilies, and fresh chilies act differently in your body than dried chilies and stuff, and to understand the flavors, and I don't know, it's just all magical to me.
And what about third place?
And In and Out.
Oh yeah.
We always come In and Out, especially this trip. Our nephew came, and that was the first place actually we went. In and Out Burger. Sure,
iconic SGV. Do you get all the crazy modifications, or are you straightforward?
The first time I ever went to In and Out, of course, I did the animal fries and I did all the animal stuff, and then I was asking my friends how to order, and then they told me just get the double, and then just get the peppers and eat it like that, and squirt the juice. I was like, so now that's the way I always order it. Just like that. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for sharing those. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for coming today. I know you're only here for a short time, and for making the time to stop by and sharing your story with us. People want to check out Rice Poke Shack or find you online. What's the best way to do that?
Well, you can You can Google the location you want to visit, and I'm still working on the website, but it's going to be ricepokeshack.com. Best way to just check us out is on Instagram, Rice Poke Shack.
Awesome. Ryan, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Well, there you go. Another episode in the books. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I certainly did. I'm always very curious about how a person's journey is from where they were. And it's never linear, right? It's never like, oh, I as a kid, I wanted to open up a Poke Shack. And so I did everything to get there. Oftentimes, I think, myself included, a lot of people think that you have to have that sort of path, that you think everybody else has this path and they're clear on what they want and everybody is either confused or not on a different path. But realistically, most people's paths are like this, right? Like you just sort of are making adjustments and pivoting and discovering who you are and what you really want and what's important to you. That's what I got from this episode. I hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and share. And if you want to see more of our content, please consider subscribing and check out our website, mysgv.net. And until next week, we'll see you then. Thank you for joining us on the MySGV podcast. Check out more of our content on our website, mysgv.net. This show was produced by Scott Wormuth, directed by Russell Mano, edited by Victoria Allers, and original music by Yone OG. If you'd like to join us next week as we capture and share more stories from our diverse community, feel welcome.
Nice mother. No, kind of mother.